Welcome, Mech Warriors. I'm Robert, and this is Mechwarrior for Mercenaries. And we're back. The new schedule is weekend uploads. Coincidentally, it was a good time to take a break, as the Battle of Barlow Gap was the last contract on Eden. At this stage in the game, New Expert is a death trap. The clan pilots and battle mechs are superior to ours, so while we would complete missions, our losses would offset the profits. We'll come back to New Expert in the late game, when we can sweep the missions. For now, we're just entering the mid-game, and we have a lot of money to spend. Here's a hot tip. Sell any Black Knights immediately. They're death traps because the center torso hitbox is massive. With that money, we'll buy the rest of the Thanatoses, which means it'll be time to sell a Chimera. We probably won't buy any more heavy mechs for the rest of the campaign. Our priority will be to buy good assault mechs and relegate the heavies to our second lance. For now, the Thanatos loadouts are good enough, so I'll tweak their armor and put them into service. Now that we've arrived, I'll let you guys read the article. There's only one mission to pick from, so I'll select that, and we'll get on with the briefing.
Capellan marauders have been pushing on several coastal holdings of tactical significance. Allied units have been spread thin to cover as many as possible. The stick commonality is offering a support contract to back up 2 lances of Linden's battalion, defending a naval repair facility. Pay looks good. Salvage is split with Linden.
This is Watchdog 1 to Allied units. We're getting torn up by Capellan armor. We cannot hold position.
Watchdog, this is Hammer. We're engaging a heavy lance at Alpha. We need support now.
I just lost Gopher and Tabby. Cannot hold.
Roger. Copy.
Copy.
This is Spectre 1. Watchdog, fall back toward Allied HQ. We're moving to support Hammer.
3 platoons of armor. 1 click north of Alpha. Watch yourselves.
Roger. Spectre elements, engage enemy and give cover for Watchdog. Hammer, how you holding up?
Not good. These guys have a serious weight advantage. We can hold them, but not for long.
Roger, 6. Roger.
Roger, Spectre.
Watchdog is clear.
Copy. Castle, get Allied air in here to mop up these ground pounders. We have to relieve Hammer at Alpha.
Roger. Allied stilettos are inbound. Time to target 60 seconds.
Spectre Lance, disengage and double time it to Alpha. Let the flyboys clean up here.
Target's destroyed. Target is friggin' eliminated.
Target is toast.
We're at 50% strength. Not looking good.
Rendezvous at the designated nav point.
Roger, Spectre. Roger, Lee.
Roger.
Damn it, Spectre! Where are you?
So, yeah, he's dead, and we failed that secondary objective already. I'm pretty sure the game spawns his lance damage to give the illusion of them having been in combat since before you arrived. The problem is that makes the assumption that the bots kill each other very slowly, and so you're able to arrive in time to see it. But when you crank the difficulty up like this, suddenly they kill each other before the intro is even done speaking. And on my left you can see Allied air coming in to mop up those tanks that we just killed. Even as a kid, I never really understood the idea of rushing past those tanks and waiting for Allied air to kill them when they're so quick to destroy even as you're running past them. Anyway, since Hammer Lance is already dead, I figured we should take some time to regroup. That jump jet was me getting up to check where the Thanatoses were, since their ECM actually blocks them from my radar as well as the enemies. Well, at least we can see Hammer Lance did something. They damaged a Nightwing. I'm not even sure how you manage that without destroying it. Per usual, I want to stay at a standoff distance and destroy as many tanks and aircraft as I can before engaging the mechs. My lance mates can deal with the mechs. They're actually good at that sort of thing. I hadn't actually remembered how many supporting craft there were until all these missiles started flying in, and suddenly I actually have to get in there and kill those aircraft because they pose a credible threat. In the lower left you can see the catapult is taking all kinds of fire. I'm actually going to fumble with the nav points and see if I can send her away to save her armor, but at this point I've destroyed most of the helicopters and now I'm starting to take all the fire, so instead the best plan of action is to focus fire on the heavier battle mechs. It's kind of strange. Usually in strategy games and the like, The best plan is to focus down weak targets so you can effectively reduce the amount of return fire you can receive. But battle mechs are this weird mix of fragile and powerful, such that killing heavier battle mechs is not that hard, and doing so drastically reduces the amount of return fire you'll take, as heavier battle mechs take way more weaponry than lighter battle mechs. Rewatching this footage, I think it's pretty clear to me I should be facing away from this Thanatos. He's focus firing me, so it's a good idea to turn away and not give him a good shot at me. And bots have a weird tendency to give up on shooting at you if you stop shooting at them. I'm not really sure how these two bushwhackers got injured. I don't think it was hammered lance. I think they were full health when we got here.
Target is friggin' eliminated.
Target is toast.
This is going to be a perfect example of the bushwhackers' hitboxes being really frustrating, which is why I respect the chassis so much.
Warning, approaching critical heat level.
Nav point Alpha secure. We lost Hammer Lance.
Acknowledged. Intercept beta aggressors at best speed.
We're on it.
Copy. Roger.
Roger.
Like I said before, this exact build of the Thanatos is new, and I'm noticing it's running really hot. I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that. I think I want to maybe change the ER large lasers to being in two separate groups, so that I can fire them independently against things like aircraft and helicopters and not waste all that heat. I'd rather not waste tonnage on heat sinks if I can solve the problem myself.
Turret grid at beta now 75%.
Enemy
The
detected.
naval yard reports turret grid at 50% strength.
Are you guys starting to notice a running theme? Anybody want to take
Enemy
bets on the
detected.
defense grid surviving this
Enemy
encounter?
detected. Target destroyed. Enemy detected. Enemy detected. Enemy detected. Enemy detected.
Engaging second Capellan force.
Enemy detected. Enemy detected.
Jesus, we get it. There are a lot of enemies.
Enemy detected.
So frustratingly, those Thanatoses have ECM as well, which means I can't target them, and thus I can't order my lance mates to focus them down.
Roger, Spectre.
Enemy detected.
Right about this point, I realized two things. Firstly, I'm the first one in, which is bad for my health. And secondly, there are a lot of watercraft with autocannons on them that'll shred our mechs pretty quickly. I expected this radar blip to be watercraft getting up into the base quickly, and it turns out, nope, it's a battle mech.
Target is
I'll just order my lance
Take out
mates
the
to focus
designated
fire
target.
that Thanatos, and I'm going to try and rush in between them to see if I can shrug off the aggro and get them to take some hits for once. You saw there for a moment how injured Blaze was in the catapult. That's due to two factors. One, she's the only mech without ECM, which means that often she's the only mech the enemies can target. Secondly, while her battle mech's hitboxes are decent at spreading damage away from the center torso onto the side torsos, her arms are actually those gantries up on top, which means that instead of having arms slung along the sides, which can potentially block some shots directed at her torso, all those shots always go into her side torsos. Now, the catapult is a good battle mech, especially for its
Attack your
tonnage, but
closest target.
now we're getting past that point, and it's starting to get a little bit out of its depth. Anyway, with just two craft left, I'll take those out and leave you guys with the outro and debriefing. New episodes on the regular schedule. I'll see you then, Mechwarrior.
Naval yard secure. Spectre Lance is on site and awaiting security relief force. Over.
Acknowledged, Commander. Allied Command anticipates relief force posting within 6 hours.
Roger. We ain't going anywhere.
The situation here on Stick is teetering on the brink of disaster. Several heads of the commonality have agreed to meet with a Capellan liaison regarding a ceasefire, though many are calling it a desperate last resort. The commonality is coming apart at the seams with no sure path for the future.